resources, understand this. This is something you will stay consistent with, and there's a reason why, which we'll talk about in a little bit, but you're going to stay consistent with these. You're going to find a way to make them right. You're going to look for more references to back them up on a day-to-day basis. As you do that, these will stop you from taking actions. They will give you reasons not to market in your business. I'll move this way. Yep, you're welcome. They will give you reasons not to prospect, not to make phone calls, not to follow through, not to show up and wake up at 4:30 a.m., be at the gym so you can get started at work by 9. Not to do the things that you know you really should be doing to tap into your full potential, and that's just the short term. Understand this. The longer you let these affect you and the more references you give them, you think they're going to become weaker or stronger? Stronger. Ultimately, they will kill your dreams. They will kill your dreams. That's conditioning. That's why it's neuroassociative conditioning and not programming. It doesn't happen once, and that's the way it is for life. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. All right. These will kill your dreams. So I want you guys to put an L in front of the BS right here. Those are examples of limiting beliefs. Second kind of belief, however, is the exact opposite. It's called an empowering belief. Empowering. Now, what do empowering beliefs do?
Moving forward.
Yeah, they empower you, right? What?
Motivate.
Motivate you. So a lot of people tend to think. Can I get another worksheet up here, please? Thank you, Milton. I appreciate that. So, they do empower, but think about it. Most people tend to think that they motivate you because you be positive, inspired. There's a huge difference between being inspired, motivated, or positive and having an empowering belief, and that is this. Is it possible to have somebody who is very motivated, very positive, very inspired, who takes no action and gets no results?
Absolutely.
Those are called hippies. Don't be a hippie. Being a hippie does not serve you in your business, okay? But an empowering belief comes from this. Understand, the way that you can really consider how an empowering belief is how that association is created, how the reference, where the reference goes, in other words. And it comes through a decision in life. And I'm not talking about the kind of decision where you're like, I don't know, should I go to the Bahamas for vacation, the Keys, I don't know what to do, go to the beach, or should I go to McDonald's? Like, that's not a real decision. I'm talking about the kind of decision where you finally pass what we call, in neuroassociative conditioning, a threshold. In other words, you get to a point in your life where you are so sick and tired of being sick and tired that you literally say never again. You will draw the line in the sand. You will never again from that day allow yourself to be indecisive. You will never again from that day allow yourself to not take action because you don't have the resources, the time, the money, and those things. You're sick and tired of being in the place you're at. And what happens is when you get to that place and you make that decision, that's when you change your focus. When your focus changes, in other words, we have a term for it called a retinal activating system, which I'll explain to you in a little bit, okay? When your retinal activating system goes on in a completely different way and you perceive yourself differently, you will automatically have this singular laser focus on your outcome because it's who you are now. It's not what you should do. It's not what you can do. When you make it a part of who you are, that is when you'll find people that are unstoppable. They will literally do whatever it takes to get a job done. Prospect daily, make extra phone calls, get referrals from clients every time they do business, execute the most incredible follow-up. They'll do whatever it takes. And they will have this level 9 or 10 mindset until they accomplish the goals that they've gotten. And then, because it's who they are, they'll take it to the next level. They'll do whatever it takes to grow. Yes?
They own it.
They own it. It's who they are. It's a part of them. Does this make sense?
Yes.
That's an empowering belief. So what we're going to do right now is literally my favorite part of this workshop. I'm going to share with everybody right now how it's scientifically proven how your beliefs and patterns of behavior will ultimately determine how much money you're going to make this year, next year, every year in the future. But most importantly, how to get some more success out of every other area of your life. Do you guys want to learn that?
Yes.
I'm not sure if you heard me or not. I said success out of every area of your life. You want to learn that?
Yeah.
All right. R in your bottom left box. That stands for results. What's it stand for?
Results.
Yes. So, here we go. The first result I want everyone to write down right now is this. How much money do you want to make in the next 12 months? By November of next year. So pretty much your goal for 2014. What is it?
$1 million.
Write it down. Put it in the results box.
Bring it on.
It's awesome. Bring it on. I love it. That's go get it down here. All right, perfect. So once you've written that goal down, now I want you to go ahead and look at your wheel of life. I want you to circle one area on your wheel of life that, I mean, honestly, you're neglecting. An area that's been suffering, and you are committed as of now to take that area to the next level in the next year. Does that make sense? Okay, so go ahead and circle that area of your life. Once you've circled that area, we're going to get clear and focused here. I want you to write down the specific result that you need in order to feel or see that your life in that area has gone to the next level. In other words, I'll explain it like this. Let's say, for example, somebody circled health and physical body. For them to feel like they've taken their health and physical body to the next level, what do they need to do to meet that standard? Do they need to lower their cholesterol 20 points? Do they need to gain 20 pounds of muscle, lose 20 pounds of fat? If somebody circled relationships, let's be honest here, for that person to take their relationships to the next level, do they have to find a relationship, right? Do they have to get out of a very bad relationship? You know, in other words, what's your next step? What is the goal and what's the ultimate result that you're looking for? Go and write that down in that area of your life right now. So let's go and get some of these results up here. Lincoln, what'd you have?
Which one?
Both. Sure, both.
More positive and
Okay.
be more, I guess, I don't know, in relationship, I'm still working on that one.
So which area did you circle?
I circle emotional state.
Emotional state. So you want to become a more positive person?
Yeah.
Sit up.
I can help you with that.
Yeah, I was going to say, she got something for that right there. All right, perfect. So you want to become more positive overall. In other words, do you want to let go of a lot of things that have happened? Is that what I'm coming hearing? Okay, cool. So you want to let go of a lot of things. And what'd you write down in the results box?
Nothing yet. Okay, I'm still.
Write it down. Come on. Get clear here. That's what we're here for. All right, what'd you write down?
All right, results 2,280,000 and organization time. As far as this action, schedule time and activity blocks.
How often?
Very well.
In other words, what's your system?
What's
What's the habit you're going to create?
Effectively, use this organizer that I've got in front of me. Actually, use it first of all. Every day, actually,
Every day?
And recalibrate it.
Okay, so use your organizer every day. All right, great. Corey, what'd you write down?
For results, I want to net 100,000,
All right.
and then I circled the finances. Multiple things I need to get build my reputation to get my name out,
Okay.
which will then result in working with more people.
Sure. Okay, awesome. $100,000. That. What's your name, brother?
Chris Payne.
Chris Payne. Nice to meet you, man. What'd you write down?
I wrote down for results $150,000
Okay.
over the next 12 months,
Cool.
and to strengthen my relationships.
Very nice. Very nice. Like personal relationships or business?
Personal.
Okay. Strengthen your
Bring it
relationships.
on.
What do you mean specifically by strength?
Spend less time in the business and more time building relationships, so being less selfish, I think, in my
Okay.
relationships.
Cool. So you want to become a little bit less selfish of a person. You want to give a little bit more time to other
More
people than
time,
you have.
more energy,
Okay.
more thought.
Awesome. Awesome. So you want to give more. I like that goal. All right. So you want to give more, and we have anywhere from 100 to 250K. All right. I'm gonna stop here. For the sake of the workshop, I'm going to use this. So as I talk about these numbers right here, understand I'm talking about what's on your results box, the results we've written down. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay. So in order for us to make $100,000 to $250,000 and accomplish these results, to improve our reputation, our finances, our relationships, organization, to become an overall better person, there are in each one of those areas specific and measurable actions you must take daily to get those results. True?
True.
A in your bottom right box stands for those actions. That's what that stands for, actions. Right? Now, actions is the mechanics. Understand, there are certain strategies that you can have and certain actions and activities you must do in order to get the results you want. And there's a way to measure them. How much prospecting you're doing, phone calls you need to make, how much marketing you need to do, where you need to do it, what kind of return you need to get on it, and also referrals, which I'm curious, how many of you here ask for referrals from clients every time you do business by show of hands? All right, so here's what we're going to do then. This was a problem last time I was here too. I'm going to do a referral training strategy with you guys. Tony Robbins taught this strategy to me. I use it every single day to get referrals. I'm going to give it to you guys so you can start getting some more referrals too. Does that sound good?
Yes.
All right. It's very simple. It's called A-R-E. A-R-E. Now, first thing is this, is if you're going to get more referrals, what do you need to do more often?
Ask.
Ask. That's what the A stands for. Not going to be the dead horse. You got to ask every single time. But here's the key. Whenever you ask for 3 referrals. Ask for 3 referrals every single time. Most people only want to ask for 1 or 2, but here's the thing. If you ask for 3 and you only get 1 or 2, that's
It's a win.
you got what you want. It's a win, right? And what happens if you get all 3?
Even better.
Exactly. It's even better. It's a double win, right? Here's why you don't ask for 4 or 5. Psychologically, something happens. When people look at groups, they chunk things out like this. People see 1, 2, 3, many. Does that make sense? Right? So 4 or 5 groups of them tend to overwhelm people. So you don't want to overwhelm your client. You want to give yourself the maximum opportunity of return. Okay? So that's for 3. Second key is R. You've got to offer some sort of a reward or an incentive for people to give you referrals. And I will tell you what I personally do. This is what I do. I always carry around these Tony Robbins Hour Power CDs with me. These are a $30 value, and I give them out for free to anybody who gives me 3 or more solid referrals. So what I always suggest to people is this. Get $5 gift cards, $10, $20, $100, whatever you want to do. Even I've heard of people doing massages, but please understand this, when I say massage, don't actually give your clients a massage unless you're a masseuse. All right? Don't be that creepy person. Okay? Don't actually give it to him. Give him the gift certificate from him. Right? That's what I'm talking about. But here's what you want to get something physical is the bottom line. Get something physical. Steak knife sets. I've seen many different things. Watches. When you get something physical, this is why this works. Because, for example, when I hand this to, let's say Monique. When I hand this to Monique and I ask her for 3 referrals, is she going to be less inclined or more inclined to give me those referrals right then and there?
More.
Why is that the case?
She gets something.
What's the difference between me just asking her and handing her something?
What's in it for her?
No,
She feels
something.
She owes me something. That's the key. She owes me something now. She feels obligated now because it's in her hands. She's got something. In other words, nobody will, or they should, you should never, the belief is, show up to a Christmas party without a present. Because what's going to happen if somebody gives you a present and you weren't expecting it? You're going to feel embarrassed, you're going to feel bad, you're going to go out and buy them something now, even though you didn't expect to buy them something, it wasn't in your budget, now you're going to do it, right? That's the exact same reason. If you are going to get more referrals from your clients, which most people, this is where it stops them, physically hand them the gift as you're asking them for the referral. It's called law of reciprocity. Just expect that they're going to give you the referral back. Does that make sense? All right? Third key is this. You want to make it...
There?
Go ahead.
Would you do that? How would you give me the pitch? So I'm your client. Would you hand them the gift?
It depends on your business.
Okay.
There's like, for example, I know how to do it for real estate.
Okay.
I don't know, and I can probably do it for financial advisors. I probably have to sit down with you and go over a pitch with you. There's a way that you can throw it in and work it in. It really depends on this next third part, which I'll explain. You guys have that second worksheet in front of you. The E, by the way, the E stands for make it easy. It stands for make it easy. So you all have this worksheet right here in front of you, the second one. Get something generic like this. The reason, and you want to put this, by the way, in every single piece of documentation that they're signing or anything that you're giving them that they're looking over. Anytime that you're handing them something that has paper in it, this wants to be, you want it to be there. It's got to be a system. Does that make sense? So that's why I was saying it have to be, it depends on where that is for you. So the reason why you want to get something, and by the way, you can take this and use it, just understand it says Tony Robbins at the top. All right? But by the way, what this does is people see something generic and they begin to think to themselves, obviously they're not the first person to get it, so that means they're not the only person giving you referrals, so it must be okay for them to give you referrals. Gives a sense of social proof. Does that make sense? All right. So by that standard, how many of you feel like you can start using that strategy today to start getting some more referrals? Absolutely. The reason why it works is because of, come on, join us. Go ahead and sit down in the back. The reason why, what?
I have to say something. I'll wait.
Okay, so, what do you need to say?
I'm sorry, I already interrupted you. Okay. Does somebody have a gold Ultima that just parked in the middle of everything? You're blocking in my tenant. So my tenant has to be able to come and go whenever he wants. I need you to move your car.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
okay.
sorry.
I even left my number there in big and all that.
Yeah,
and
it doesn't
this
look
was
like
my
Okay,
tenant,
cool.
so
Anything else?
sorry.
Good? No worries. All right, so the reason why this works, hold on one second. The reason why that strategy works is because of a law in this universe called the law of reciprocity. And that law states this: anything that expands will contract. Anything that goes up is going to come down, and anything you put out will come where?
Back.
So due to this law of reciprocity, we must first give out lots of referrals in order to receive them. So I'm curious, how many of you here know of 3 or more people who own, manage, or sell in a company with at least 8 salespeople or groups that could have that would benefit from a workshop like this one in the area? By show of hands. How many of you would like to get a CD for free today? By show of hands. All right, write down the 3 referrals between now and the end of the workshop. I'll make sure to pass out some CDs. But I do want to continue with this right here. All right. Now, is it possible for somebody to have great strategies on the actions, great plans, take the actions they need to take, and still not get the results they want? This is why. Can you show up in your business or in your life, really any area, at a level 4 or 5, even a 6, and expect that you're going to get level 9 or 10 results? Nope. No, you can hope, pray, wish. You can use the secret and put a check underneath your pillow every night. Do it all you want, but here's the thing. People will never get a level 9 or 10 result until they have a level 9 or 10 mindset. Until they find a way to tap into that full potential that they possess. So that's why P is in your top right box. That stands for potential. But think about it like this. It's a very ambiguous word, potential. When people tap into their full potential, that is, in other words, that mindset. That unstoppable, unshakable mental attitude. Where people have so much focus, drive, commitment to what they're doing, they will literally do whatever it takes to get that job done. prospect daily, make extra phone calls, get referrals. They will show up in their business at that level 9 or 10 because it's who they are and it's what they do. But the question of the hour is this. What's the difference between these people that can get into that mindset that quickly? Which, by the way, how many of you would like to learn how to get into that mindset that quickly by show of hands, right? Absolutely. What's the difference between these people? Because they own it. They live it. They breathe it. They do it. And the people that always feel like they should or have to do more. They feel like they should or have to make more phone calls. They should or have to go out there and market their business. They should or have to do all these things. And they end up shilling all over themselves. Right? What's the difference between these people?
Their beliefs.
Belief system.
It's your belief system, and this is why, because understand this, when what you're doing no longer becomes what you're doing, and it becomes a part of who you are, you own it, you live it, you breathe it, you do it, it becomes a part of your beliefs. And therefore, what it does is it becomes something that you expect from yourself and don't have to think about, as opposed to what you feel like you should or have to do. Does that make sense? All right, so B's in your top left box, that stands for your beliefs. And the only way that it can really show you how this works is through contrast. So let's say, for example, because it goes a lot deeper. Let's say, for example, we know somebody who really wants to make $100,000 to $250,000. They really want to improve a lot of areas of their life, relationships, health, finances, everything. They have great goals in life. However, this person has gone through a lot of experiences and created a lot of references behind the fact that they're indecisive, they're very fearful of rejection, failure, the unknown, success. They don't have the resources they need, the time they need, the money, the energy. They feel like they don't have enough clients. They feel like they don't have the relationships they want. They have a lack of a lot of things. Organization, they're unorganized, they're all over the place. And before we go any further, is it fair to say we all know someone who thinks a little bit like that by show of hands? Realistically speaking, does that person in that area of life have an empowering or a limiting belief system? I truly appreciate your honesty there, I really do. Now, when people have limiting belief systems, what happens? Does that cause them, with that set of beliefs, to tap into more or less of their full potential in that mindset?
No.
They tap into less of it. They have it, but they're not using it. And when they don't tap into that full potential, do they take more or less actions? Less actions. Basic math. When you take less actions in your business, are you going to get better or worse results? Worse results. What are people's favorite thing to do when they don't get the results that they want? It's not my fault, it's the market. It's not my fault, it's the economy. It's not my fault, I don't have the relationships. It's not my fault that client doesn't have the money. It's not my fault my family's doing all this. I can't handle all that and all this. It's impossible. It's not my fault that I was raised this way. My parents did this. It's not my fault all these things happen in the market, the economy, all this, all that. Which realistically speaking, how often do those answers come up? Once or all the time?
Every day.
Every single day. Here's what I want you to realize. When you don't get what you want, when people don't get what they want, what's the first question they will always ask themselves?
Why?
Why? When you ask why, that means you're searching. In other words, it means your retinal activating system is not on. And what happens is, therefore, you will create an association. When you ask why, you get an association. More importantly, a reference. Because that's how you experience the world. So when you ask why and then you reference to the impatience and you associate that feeling however you experience them, do you become less certain or more certain about these beliefs?
More.
More certain, because you tend to get more references behind them. As you do that, what happens? Do these get weaker or stronger? Stronger. Those limiting beliefs will get stronger. But the scariest part about it is that these are the way that you see yourself. And what I was talking about earlier when I was saying the reason why Tony continued to drink the beer when he didn't want to do it. In other words, why people continue to not make phone calls when they know they should. When they continue to not grow their business the way they know they should. When people do things they know are hurting their life and their business and they continue doing it, this is the reason why. And what I'm about to share with you guys, it's single-handedly the most important thing that I've learned from being around Tony Robbins for the past 2 years of my life. I really want you guys to understand this. The driving force of the human personality is the need to stay consistent with the way and that which you identify with yourself. In other words, your true identity. You guys want me to repeat that?
Yes.
It's very, yeah, a lot of people like me to repeat that. So, the driving force of the human personality is the need to stay consistent with your true identity. Just write that down, because in other words, what that means is it's the way that in which you identify with yourself. One more time?
Yes.
All right. The driving force of the human personality is the need to stay consistent with your true identity. So I'll explain to you exactly what that means. In other words, understand, that is what I was talking about earlier, your retinal activating system? Yes? You guys remember that?
Yes.
That is what that is. In other words, think about it like this. Ari,
Yes, sir.
when was the last time you bought a new car?
A couple years ago.
Who's recently bought a new car? Anybody? New car, like within the last 2 years.
2 years.
Yes? All right. What's the car that you bought?
Me?
Yeah.
GTI Volkswagen.
GTI Volkswagen. So, did you find it funny that, I mean, before you were driving that, what were you driving by the way?
GTI Volkswagen.
So you bought a new GTI, okay. Anybody buy a new car and they change cars? Yeah, what did you buy?
A Lexus IS250.
What'd you have before?
A Daewoo.
A Daewoo. Okay, totally different cars.
Yeah.
Now, when you bought into the Lexus IS50, did you happen to find it funny that all of a sudden you started seeing a lot more Lexus IS50s on the road?
Sure.
Yes? Okay. So, was it the fact that all of a sudden, once you bought that Lexus IS50, everyone was like, he's got one, I want one?
Awareness.
Or was it because something else changed up here? In other words, understand, that's your retinal activating system. When you started to see all of those cars all of a sudden, that was because you identified yourself with the car. So therefore, your mind will find a way to see it. Does that make sense? So let's say, for example, we know somebody who is very lazy, they're procrastinators, they're bad time managers, and they've done it their entire life. They survive, but they know that's who they are, they identify with themselves in that way. Every single morning, without a doubt, when their alarm clock goes off, what's the first thing they will always do? Snooze button. Why? Here, think about it. Why do they hit the snooze button? Are they hitting the snooze button because they know that taking that action is going to give them all this drive, this passion, the energy, that mindset they need to crush the day, get the results? No. Why do they do it? Let's look at this really quickly. I'm basically going to dissect this for you guys. How certain is that person on a scale of 1 to 10? How certain are they that by hitting the snooze button, they're going to avoid massive pain? 1 to 10, where are they at? It's a 10 for them. Something happened in their life before, they have a reference behind it, they have an experience where they've associated massive pain to waking up. Could somebody grab me some water, please, by the way? I appreciate that, already. Thank you. Secondly, how certain is that person, certainty, scale 1 to 10, that by hitting the snooze button, they're going to gain massive pleasure of sleeping in?
10.
It's a 10 for them in both areas. They've identified with themselves in those areas because they have enough references and associations behind it to create certainty about who they are. How often is that person going to take that action if they know for certain they're going to get what they want out of each of those? By hitting that button, they're going to get massive pain and avoid massive pleasure. How often are they going to do it?
Every time.
What do you call actions that are taken every single day?
Habits.
When people consistently sleep in, what do they call themselves?
Lazy.
Habits are how you identify with yourself. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Habits are the way that you identify with yourself because that gives you references consistently over and over and over again. So what will happen is once you are associating with yourself in this way, you're going to find it every single day and you're going to run a habit with it. You're going to run a pattern with it every single day. And it looks like this until eventually you end up in the middle of that box. Realistically, looking at the middle of that box, is there anywhere to go in the middle of that box?
No.
How do people feel in the middle of that box? Stuck, hopeless, helpless. They don't know where to go or what to do. When people are in the middle of this box, that's the moment. Now, it doesn't mean that your flat dead broken life is over. It means one thing. It means that you have accepted these limiting beliefs as who you are, the way life is, the way business is. You're certain about it. So you've just said, I'm going to go my way around where I need to go, as opposed to breaking through what's going on. When you do that, do you expect more or less out of yourself? Less. You just let it sit there and you hope that you're going to go out there and run a 4-minute mile with a broken leg. It's impossible. But you think it's possible because of all these things that are going on, and it's impossible to do anything about it. In other words, let's say, for example, we know somebody who is very positive, motivated, inspired, and this person has been raised and conditioned their whole life to believe that east is the right direction for them to head in. That's their ultimate direction. That's their true north. They're going to head east for their entire life. And what they've learned is they want to find a sunset. Sunsets are nice. Sunsets are warm. Sunsets look beautiful. Sunsets, I mean, you can hear the sun, everything. They believe that sunset is what they want to find. But they've also believed that heading east is where they need to go. Is that person ever going to find a sunset heading east? Doesn't matter how hard they try. Doesn't matter what actions they take, the strategy they come up with. Doesn't matter what they're doing in their business. They will never find that sunset until they make a decision. And that decision is when they get sick and tired of going another day without that sunset. That's the moment that they will go out there and head west. When they head west, they'll realize what they were looking for their entire life was 2 millimeters away the whole time. The whole time. There was a change in the way that they were thinking, in the way that they were conditioned. In other words, what was Einstein's definition of insanity?
Doing
the same thing over and over
again.
again.
Exactly.
to be the same person, identify with yourself in the same way, have the same habits, take the same actions every day, show up at work and do the same things, and expect to make more money, expect to have better relationships, expect to have more resources, expect to have more time, better organizational skills, and that's insanity. It's true insanity. Because quite honestly, to continue to do that causes you what? Pleasure or pain in your life and in your business?
Pain.
I'm here to tell you guys, you're not causing yourself pain because you enjoy doing it. You're just being human. You're just being human. You have a retinal activating system you're following with, and if you don't identify with that and take action on it right away, that is when this will start to affect your life, and you will feel and see that life is not happening for you, it's happening to you. And that's a scary place to be. Because you need to take control of your life by making the right decisions, taking the right actions, and heading in the right direction, heading in that true west. And really, if you think about it, are these beliefs new or old? Have they been here a day, a week, or a long time? You might have picked them up from someone before you, like who?
Parents.
If you don't change them, who might you pass them on to?
Kids.
Stanford University has research from 2004, and it proves 50% of your patterns develop at the age of 5. 90% of them are developed at the age of 18. That means by 18, kids know exactly how to manipulate their parents to get anything they want. Because they know what? They know their patterns, their beliefs, their associations, how they operate. They've learned how to operate that computer. So really, these beliefs have been around for a long time, and they're affecting not just you. Who else are they affecting?
Kids.
Children and everyone around you. So how many of you here want to influence the lives of those around you by show of hands? Contribute. If you're going to do that, the question I'm going to ask you is this. Who's the person that needs to step up and take their actions and make their decisions first?
So,
When?
now. Yesterday.
Yesterday, right? When would now be a good time? Also, think about it like this. I want you guys to imagine that in your business and in your life, on January 1st of this year, the beginning of this year, you had this level 9 or 10 mindset. You were focused, driven, committed. You were unstoppable. Best self possible. Had empowerment beliefs, everything. That was who you were from January 1st until now. I want you to come up with one number. How much money could you have made this entire past year as that person right there? Go and write that number down right now, whatever it is.
I'm sorry, as what person?
Playing at your full potential, that level 9 or 10 person. That mindset, that unstoppable mental attitude.
For this past year?
The past 11 months. All right. Once you've written that number down, I want you all to subtract from that number the amount of money you have actually made, and then most importantly, circle the difference between those two numbers. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
Circle that difference. All right, really quickly, what was your circle number?
The difference?
Yeah.
140,000.
Wow, okay. What's your difference, Lincoln?
200.
200? What's your difference?
This year wasn't about making money.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I
what
think
was
it's
the difference?
circumstantial.
What's that?
What was the difference? Was there a difference not just in money? Was there a difference in something else then?
There was a success in achieving the goal.
Okay, so you achieved that goal. You put
I
everything
achieved
towards
the goal that
accomplishment.
I
Okay,
set
awesome.
out to set.
And then what was the difference then? Since you accomplished that goal and you put all your resources into that, what was the difference in the money and everything else?
It's the difference of success or failure with this business.
Okay, awesome. So really quickly, just to show you guys, what do those numbers represent? We had anywhere from like 100, we'll even say 50. I mean, did anyone have $50,000 on that number? Right, so let's say 50. $50,000 to $200,000. What do those numbers represent? Lost income due to what?
Focus.
That's how much these beliefs and the way that you've been identifying with yourself in the past year has cost you. Most importantly, understand this, the decisions you've been making as this person right here. If you added up every single year that you've been in business, and most importantly, these have been around, that adds up to hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars. And I'm not here to preach about the material things in life, because if you really look at it, have these just affected your income? What else have they affected?
Everything.
Every area of your life. How many times do you see people that get, or hear about people that get so stressed out in their business, they go out and they binge eat, drink, especially out here, drink. They go out there and they throw their lives away because they're so stressed about what's going on, and they make the wrong decisions because of the one client, something happens, and even people that just gain massive amounts of weight and then tell themselves it's okay because they're going to go to the gym tomorrow or the following day, and they never follow through. And it's not just that. How many times do you see people go out there and not spend time with the people they really want to spend time with and let that affect their life? And they can make the decision not to. And they have to tell their loved ones, I can't spend time with you, can't do the things I want to do with you. All because of the beliefs they have, the way that they've been conditioned. It's insane. And I want to show you guys. So really hear this, see this, feel this, to move forward from this. How many of you here can believe you have the power to do something about those beliefs by show of hands? How do we know this for sure? Who created them? You guys created them. If you created them, you sure as hell have the power to destroy them. If you can make one decision to destroy these limiting beliefs and improve the overall quality of your life in every area, when would you want to make that kind of a decision?
No.
How many of you in this room are committed to doing that with me today? Say yes.
Yes.
I want you guys to imagine this. Imagine every area of your